Yo, what's going on, guys? Cali Cowboy here, coming at you with another episode of the podcast. It is July 31st, Wednesday, and today, Cowboys do not have a practice, got a day off. It's been 2 days in pads, and it's been about total of 4 days total in training camp. So we're moving right along. First week through, moving right along. So in this episode, I'm going to get into some of the news and notes that have been going on, throughout these couple days in pads, Monday, Tuesday, and just, some around the NFL news as well. I think there's like one or two things I got right here. So, yeah, getting right into it. Let's see. First things first, we got Michael Thomas getting paid 100 mil, 5-year deal. So that's about 20 mil a year, and that's news, relating to us because Amari Cooper, as you know, wants to get paid as well, and that kind of sets the market for us. Amari Cooper, that's what he was. His agents were waiting for that block to fall, and waiting for Thomas to get his money. So what that means is now we can move along, offer a number, because in my eyes, Cooper isn't better than Thomas, in my opinion. Cooper is better at certain things, uh, and but Michael Thomas, he has more value to his team. He has more more flash than Cooper, and I think that on a market, and resetting the market the way he did right now, I think we'll have Cooper just a little bit below him. So if you look on Spotrac.com, that's where you could see all of the contracts for all the teams and all the players. And if you look on there, it has Cooper's market value at around 17.2 mil. And I think that's right around the range where, we would pay Cooper. Take a look at the average salaries that are, comparable to him. You got Mike Evans at 16 and a half, Brandon Cooks 16.2, DeAndre Hopkins 16.2, which I don't know about that. That's a good deal for the Texans. Sammy Watkins at 16 mil. So I think Cooper, with this new number, with Michael Thomas coming in at 20 mil, I think we'll pay him about 17 to 18 mil. And that's not the worst thing, but receivers are getting paid now. The market is shifting up. So Cooper, his contract should be on the way. Dak's contract should be on the way, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. Who knows when it's going to get done. So moving on to training camp. First of all, go over Monday. Not a lot going on Monday. What I got here, Rico, not looking so good in practice. He dropped a pass that got intercepted by Joe Jackson. And Rico is interesting. We got a bunch of tight ends. Jason Witten coming back, of course. And I don't know. With Blake Jarwin, who I'll talk about a little later in the podcast, is Blake Jarwin is leading the pack, and you got Witten, of course, like I said, and I don't know if there's too many spots available for Rico, not too many opportunities available for him, and we got Dalton Schultz as well, which I think Rico can beat out receiving wise, but he's also got a block, and he's also got another playbook and things of that nature. So it's going to be a tough battle for Rico. Not looking good for him on Monday, dropping that pass. So not good. Excuse me. Secondly, Cowboys signed Alfred Morris. Pretty big news. And yesterday he got his first practice in. It was a little bit of a shock because, we went through a few days, went through a day of with pads on, and out of nowhere, Cowboys signed Alfred Morris. Now I made my video on this, and that was kind of a reactionary video. But now that I settle into it and I got a chance to think about it a little bit more. I'm thinking that it's not really a big deal that we signed Alfred Morris. He can play for us, but I think it's more of a camp body than anything else. He's there because he knows the system. He's a good locker room guy, positive guy. But I don't think he's going to be there long term, of course. He's on a 1 year deal, and who knows what's going to happen. So we sign him as insurance policy. So, of course, we got Darius Jackson right there behind him. Got Tony Pollard, Mike Weber, who's been running pretty good. Tony Pollard, who's been looking pretty good, I've been hearing. And Alfred Morris and Jordan Chun. And I've been hearing Jordan Chun is a little scrappy, running pretty good out there as well. So running back is looking, the same. Alfred Morris isn't nothing to get too excited about. He's pretty much a one-dimensional back. We know what's going to happen when he's out there. The other team's defenses are going to key in on that. He's not a good receiving running back, and that's why we got Tony Pollard in there. So not that great of a signing. Not that biggest fan of Alfred Morris, but camp body, insurance policy, not the worst thing, So like that kind of. And next in the news, we got Sean Lee, twisting his knee. They're saying it's a minor sprain, and that we're going to take it easy with him, of course. And it just, it's a broken record at this point. It's like, not if he'll get injured, it's when he'll get injured. So it's, not the greatest thing to see. You wish he would be healthy, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I'm guessing they were expecting him to get injured, but now they're really going to put the bubble wrap on him. They're going to really watch out everything he does, all the reps he does. He's probably not going to play in maybe he'll play in the third preseason game, but that might be it. He'll probably get, a few reps at, each practice each day. They're really going to monitor him. So we need Sean Lee healthy for the season. We need him to be a leader. We need him to be on that field, at least playing some snaps. We don't need him to be hurt. So that just got me thinking about the depth at the Sam linebacker, strong linebacker, and we do got Joe Thomas, who got injured last year but was playing really well before that. Justin March Lillard, Chris Covington is just some of the depth that we have behind him. And, I'm happy with Joe Thomas if he could stay healthy. It's not that bad of a drop-off. So, considering we have two of the best linebackers, one of the best linebacker combos in the NFL, not that big of a deal. But, you would like to have your strong side linebacker to be a decent one at least. And I do think we got that with Joe Thomas, and it won't be that bad of a drop-off. So, not looking great, but Sean Lee, hey man, what can you do? So, moving right along, we also got just some action from yesterday. Some notes I took down on. First of all, I'll do defense, and then I'll go offense. And defensive line is looking, pretty deep. I kind of underestimated it at first, but now I'm looking at it, and we got people that are just getting after it, getting really active and showing out what they can do. Joe Jackson, he had that interception, and I'm hearing he's out there looking really fast, bending the corner, and proving himself. So that's definitely what we need. We need defensive ends, pass rushers, all that kind of thing. Uh, Joe Jackson getting some of the rookie treatment. If you checked out my Instagram, you could see some of the veterans giving him their pads and making him do rookie duties. Him with Tristan Hill as well. So that's kind of funny. But he took it well, but he also is like, I'm not doing this again. So that's funny. Uh, Daniel Wise, I know he's kind of on the back end of the roster, but he's always active. From what I'm hearing, he's making it, a little bit of a name of himself out there, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the back end of your depth chart, twisting and churning and making sure you're getting them reps and learning as all through camp. And we're gonna see what they got in these next upcoming preseason games. We got Malik, we got Antoine, but the depth behind them, we got to see if we can rotate people in there. So Daniel Ross, Tristan Hill, I'm looking out for those guys to step up, and I'm all for a name out of nowhere someone coming out of nowhere like Daniel Wise. So looking forward to that guy, seeing what he got. Also, the buzz of the D line, Jalen Jelks, that 6'5" defensive end out there from Oregon. He was a 6th, 7th round pick this year, forgetting which round, but he was a late round pick, and he's showing a nice burst, relentless attitude off the edge, showing power. Jalen Jelks, watch out for him. Not bad to have him behind Joe Jackson, or taking up Taco's spot. Dorrance Armstrong is looking good, I'm hearing. So, all in all, with Demarcus Lawrence, not practicing, it's getting all these other ends a lot of reps. And we got some of the legends out there, showing these players some of the ropes, like Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn still willing to learn after all his time in the NFL is pretty amazing. And I think it's Charles Haley that's out there, giving us his advice, which is awesome. I always love when some of the, legends come out and to training camp and just gives their expertise is, really valuable. So awesome on the D line so far. Really encouraged by it. Next, secondary, gonna go with Heath and Xavier Woods, both getting INTs. Now, I'll get into that later actually, but you probably know where I'm gonna go with it. But Heath and Woods getting the INTs, showing that they're active, getting their hands on the ball, not dropping it, but securing the INT is huge. I'm looking for Xavier Woods, like I said in my other video. He's gonna have a breakout year. I think everyone wants him to have a breakout year, but he's the prime candidate for a breakout year right now. So, and we need him to. We absolutely need him to, because he's one of the last ones to break out. We had the linebackers break out last year. We got DeMarcus Lawrence the year before that, and next is secondary. Well, actually, we kind of had Byron Jones breakout last year, but that was a corner. We need the safety now. So, X Woods, baby, getting an INT. A little bit of bad news. I'm hearing Jordan Lewis is getting plays made all over him by the wide receivers, and he's getting worked. But hey, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I still like Jordan Lewis. He has some swag out there. He can play as a ball hawk at times, and he can take chances, but that's why he's not the absolute starter. So still like Jordan Lewis, not discouraged that he's getting plays made on him, but we'll just see how it goes. And just some of the little other safety nuggets, we got Donovan Wilson flying around, Kayvon and Aloka, might be on the bubble, I'm hearing. It wouldn't surprise me if one of them got cut, if one of these safeties steps up like Donovan Wilson. So, and if Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods, if they just secure their spot at safety, no questions asked, I could see one of them getting cut. So don't be surprised if we, do that to keep something else at another position. So that's about it for defense. Love defense. Hoping that we, stay injury free, of course, and just gonna keep seeing what's going on in camp. So offense, moving right along. Kellen Moore. Now this is kind of a big topic. Kellen Moore, as you know, first year offensive coordinator, got promoted from quarterbacks coach last year, and he is, kind of turning heads a little bit with his new implementation of his motions. He's doing a lot of pre-snap motions to just kind of tinker and see what that can do for us. And I like it. It's kind of a fresh new take on our offense, which is an old, offense. Jason Garrett's that's been here for I don't know how many years, and it was getting stale with Linehan. And I think now having a young guy, grabbing the reins of it, he has fresh ideas, he has more willingness to experiment, and he's going to give it some aggression. I think, and I'm hearing out there it's looking more relaxed. Dak is pushing the ball down the field. The quarterbacks are pushing the ball down the field. John Kitna is, telling them let it rip. So not so conservative. It's aggressive. It's loose. It's just some of the things that have been going on there, and that's awesome because when you're pushing the ball down the field, you're giving yourself more options. You're using the whole field and not just the short intermediate stuff that we used to do and just running the ball the whole time and whatnot, and throwing people off with motions. It might be the same plays, but at least we're doing a little something to make it look different. So overall, I'm pleased with Kellen Moore's progress and with this offense and as offensive coordinator, and I'm kind of optimistic to see what he could do. I'm kind of excited to see what he could do. So come that first preseason game, I'm going to be watching, seeing what he does. So next we got some wide receivers. Young wide receivers are making noise at camp, and it's going to be a dogfight to see who wins a roster spot. Just plain and simple, we got Cooper, Gallup, Cobb, 3 starters, don't think they're going anywhere. You got Tavon, Noah Brown, Jalen Guyton, John Vay Johnson, Reggie Davis, Cedric Wilson, Lance Lenoir, and I think Devin Smith as well. After Cobb, it's going to be a total dogfight because, Tavon could get cut, Noah Brown, who's on PUP, and that's not going to save him, So hearing Jalen Guyton is, looking really nice out there. John Vaya looking really nice out there. Reggie Davis making some deep catches as a result of us pushing the ball down the field. These guys are, getting a chance to show themselves on that deep ball. And, they're looking really fast. They're young, just fighting out there like some dogs. So Tavon better watch his ass because got some young pups coming up for him. So and no one's safe. You got Cedric Wilson, who is kind of everyone's little darling. We want him to do good. He has good measurables, 6'3", and but whoever does the best out there, whoever has the best training camp, I think should get the roster spot, and that goes for Lance Lenoir as well. Any wide receiver. So I'm all for that competition, and it's looking really great out there. And yeah, so moving along, we got tight ends. This is what I wanted to say earlier. Blake Jarwin, and as you know, last year he had a great game against the Giants. 3 touchdowns, 100-something yards. Kind of his breakout game in the last game, but nonetheless, it's still a breakout game. He also had a great game. I think it was the Eagles, one of the last games last year, and Right now, he's looking lean, in shape. He's getting open, looking like a starting tight end. And kind of excited, but at the same time, kind of, wary because we got Witten back. And, we don't know if Witten will bite into his snaps or not. We're not sure how much we're going to use him. But we should be using him because he's looking really good out there, like a starting tight end. And we got him for a reason. We held on to him for a reason, I think. So it's looking really good for Blake Jarwin. Can't wait to see what he looks like in preseason. So Blake Jarwin, another one to watch out for. And lastly, I'll get into quarterbacks. Just a little thought. I seen out there. I seen on Facebook and all these Cowboys Facebook groups, and just bagging on Dak because he threw some interceptions in practice. Talk about practice, like really. Practice is the place where you are supposed to throw interceptions. You are supposed to experiment, trying to throw in those tight windows, and trying out new things, experimenting, and that's the place to do it. So, not at all fazed by those 2 interceptions Dak threw, and not phased at all. So, I'm all for Dak trying new things, getting his mechanics down and whatnot. So, to all those people that are like, oh, Dak is, he's throwing interceptions, he's not great, and that could be a Cowboy hater in disguise, could be a Redskins fan or something, but all in all, doesn't matter. Dak is a gamer anyways, so what he does in practice is just him working on his game. So just wanted to get that out of my chest. And finally, we got that new quarterback is Christian, 4th string quarterback, and Terran Christian, yeah, that's his name, and yeah, he's right around 4th string because we signed him late and as a camp body, and just looking to get him out there because we had just wanted to roll the dice on him, see what he got, and our scouting department liked him, so we signed him, and now he's out there competing with Mike White and Cooper Rush for that backup spot, and that's not the greatest competition. So hey, and what I'm hearing out there, he has, pretty good footwork. He's mobile and whatnot. He has an arm, but his only knock is he's not that accurate right now. And that's not the worst thing. I think accuracy can be slowly worked on, and we have John Kitt in the back there, Dak right there being an example. And I think he is a project. He is kind of young, and we can make him as like a 2 to 3 year project, just sitting behind Dak, learning, and if we could see something in him. If he just keeps, throwing the ball horribly and just not accurate at all, I don't think he'll last. But he's got to show us something. So I do think we do have a little bit of a development quarterback, and that's nice. Just insurance policy, and overall he kind of looks like Dak, so kind of a backup for Dak when he goes out. We won't miss a beat if he can kind of live up to that mold, and not be such a big drop off. So that's kind of huge. And all in all, it's pretty much all I got for this podcast, and just moving right along. Cowboys don't have practice today on Wednesday. Next day they'll resume again on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we got the blue-white scrimmage on Sunday, which I should be there, hopefully. So crossing my fingers for that. Thank you guys for listening into the podcast. Really appreciate it. And if you can, just take some time, go over to my YouTube page. youtube.com/CaliCowboy619. Go ahead and subscribe. I post up, additional videos over there and whatnot. Go ahead and go to my Twitter, my Facebook, all my social media. Follow me, and just follow me as I'm putting out more content now, as you can see, and just keep up to date with me. So Really appreciate it. I will catch you all later.